First things first. Okay, so now what I want to talk about is the idea of punishment, but also problem solving in Tekken. This game, like I've said before, is full of knowledge checks. Especially when you start out, it's going to feel like people are just getting in your grill. They're just doing shit to you. This Paul player, he doesn't give a fuck about you or your family, right? He's just going to do this shit. He's just going to punch you in your stomach. And guess what? You're going to go right there. He's going to demo man you. And you're getting hit by all of it. And it's just really frustrating. It's like, man, what do I do against this guy, right? Here's the thing. Tekken 8, something that's really cool about this game compared to its predecessor, I would say, is the game gives you a lot to be able to try to help yourself. Start with that. And the first thing I want to talk about is stand punishment. The thing with Tekken is that because there are so many attacks and there's so many ways to get hit and lose, you kind of have to evaluate what you're losing to. Start with punishment training. Just go into the game and see what it gives you. Ah, Phoenix Smasher, that's the name of the attack, right? Well, let's see what the game suggests. Huh. So I know my uppercut is, it launches at 15 frames, but this attack is minus 17. I should be able to launch with uppercut, right? If I'm against the wall, I can. But maybe that doesn't work like that at open stage, right? Huh? Maybe it does. But maybe at tip range. See? So that's a thing. And what's important is that, again, you use what the game gives you to be able to try to figure out these solutions. So just from knowing, oh man, it doesn't matter what range I block Death Fist from, I can always just do 4-1+2. I can just power crush him. Knowing that is already, and for Azucena, that's a big deal because I go into heat after. That's an engager. Use what the game gives you right away just to try to figure out some solutions. They'll give you suggestions based on both standing and while standing for a lot of common characters, common attacks, right? So now what I want to talk about is, well, what about, I played this Paul player and he just kept doing this to me over and over again. They just keep doing the Lion's Roar string to you over and over and over again. What the hell? This is safe. I can't even hit him for this. I'm trying. I'm not getting a punish. I can't hit him for it. No, that's not a punish. That doesn't work either. And I know that because the punish here isn't lighting up. And because my jab is 10 frames and I'm blocking and it says 9, it's safe. This is a safe string. And man, he's just going to bully me and do this over and over to me, and then he's going to mix me up, and I can't do anything. How do you fix this? When characters and players are doing stuff to you in Tekken, the way you get better and the way you figure it out and the way you problem solve is this. Just like when scientists go in the laboratory and they have a hypothesis or a theory, and they have a series of checks and balances called the scientific method, you should have one for Tekken. So the first questions you want to ask yourself are, can I punish this, right? Man, it looks like I can't punish this. Is there maybe a point where I could duck this? It's a mid, high, mid. There's a high there. Now in Tekken 8, that doesn't necessarily mean every time that you're going to be able to duck in between. But this is how you figure it out. Now, I'm going to try to react to the first hit and duck. Can I duck the second hit? I can. Okay. But if I'm too late, I'll get snapped by the mid. See? And guess what? If you get hit by the mid, you're going to get hit by that. So, it's important that I have to find a solution to this string, but I can't miss. I can't be wrong. So, again, the way you do this is you have a scientific method that you should go into every time you experience something that's giving you trouble, like this string. And there, again, for clarity, there are a ton of strings just like this one, way different than this one. This is Tekken. Every character has tons of these. It's a slow burn game. This is not the kind of game where you study ahead of time and then you sit down and take the test. This course has a lab attached to it. You're going to have to try to take your time with some of these. Don't learn them all at once, but deal with what's giving you issues right in front of you, and it'll stick. Let's go back to trying to figure this one out. Your first question should be, can I block it in punishment? The answer is no, right? Second question, is there a point where I can duck this string? Yes. Okay. Now, third question. If I duck the high point in the string, what do I have time to do to try to interrupt my opponent if they go for the string? I can while standing 4, my fastest while standing option. Start from the fastest and work your way up. Can I while standing 2 this? If I'm really fast, I can while standing 2 this. So just like that, you found a really good solution to this string. This low-level player is going to come at you and just down for one you over and over and over again, do the Lion's Roar string, right? Because of the reward that it has for being safe. But it's not entirely safe because this high in the string does not jail. So now what you're trying to do is, you know your solution. You're trying to react to the first hit of this and launch him for it. Very quickly tap down after blocking the first mid and go with your while standing 2. If you're not entirely confident in the speed, or if your character has a slower launcher from while standing, try your character's fastest while standing button, or maybe a mid option like while standing, you know, for Azucena it'd be like while standing 1 or something. But the point is, you go through, oh wow, I get a counter hit launcher there. With that, yeah. Then you want to also look at character specific solutions. So for example, Azucena, and I know this because I look in my move list and I can see this. Her up forward light punch, or left punch rather, has a punch parry on it. So now I'm thinking there are some strings where I can do this attack and maybe get a counter. I don't know if it'll work against the string, but the point is, let's see. It does. I don't even have to try to do the duck. If I'm not confident, I can just wait for them to do the third hit. Eat shit. Once you've done the first sets of checks, right? Oh wow, I also have character specific solutions. Maybe your character has a punch parry. Maybe your character has a unique backswing blow that they can use. So for example, Azucena has this. Can this get me out of range and be able to strike back? Okay, maybe not on the second hit. But on the third, wow, I can do that. So if I'm not confident in the duck, right, I can very quickly use her backswing blow to get out of range of the third hit, strike back, and now I'm in the driver's seat again. Have your scientific method. First, explore punishment. If that's not an option, is there a spot where you can duck or insert a low parry? Is there a spot where you can step? Then explore character-specific options. Do I have a parry I can use somehow with this? Do I have a backswing blow? Maybe your character has something else they can use. Take what's giving you problems and approach it line by line, rationally, and find solutions. And that's, again, the lab attached to this game. This is just one puzzle piece. This is one puzzle piece just to this character. This one string. That's all just learning how to deal with one string. And Tekken has hordes of these. But again, you don't have to learn them all today. So you're going to hop online, and at some point you're going to run into this character. He's a boss character. He's very strong. And at some point you're going to run into them, and they're going to do this to you. So let's just look at this rationally, right? Is there a point where maybe I can duck, or can I punish it at least? It's safe. It's +8. Do I have anything faster than, you know, that fast? No. I get pushed back quite a bit. Well, let's just go through the checklist then. Can't punish there. It's mid string, so there's no place where you can duck. So then, what about sidestep? Is there a point here where I can step? And again, remember, step, just tap up, tap down. Oh, it whiffed. So it looks like if you have the right timing, you can actually step the third hit. The truth is, this string is much cheaper than that. It has other variations, and he can actually delay it. So I'll show you. The third hit can be delayed to mess with your timing. So this string is much cheaper than that. But the whole point is, you have to know at first a very basic check here. So what I recommend is, when it comes to strings and stuff like this, when you're trying to test if you can step it to create a whiff and be able to score a punish like that, because remember, this normally was not punishable. It's all mids. I get pushed out so far, but by sidestepping and exploring where to step in a string like this, and not all strings are going to have these kinds of gaps like this. Well, most will have one or another. But the whole point is, go through your checklist and try to find what the solution is. And whereas before, where this was safe, by stepping, you can explore at least some punish options. So he tried to delay it, he got hit. But that also kind of encourages you to do something else too. sidestep block, sidestep guard. So that way, even if the attack is somehow gonna catch tracking to that side or something, you still have your block input to be able to block it. Stay safe. But this is an idea that you're gonna have to mess around with string problem solving, is stepping and try to find openings through the side lateral movement. And then, of course, you leverage your character-specific options, right? So remember, that's just going through the checklist. Okay, so this is delayable string, right? He can mess with my timing in case I do try to step. And then the hitbox on that last hit is kind of weird, right? So, what about some of my other options? Well, I have a punch parry with Azucena, and I know that because I checked the move list. Her up forward 1 has punch parry frames. These are punches, right? Oh, so if they even try to do the third hit, and I'm Azucena, I could just check them with up forward 1. Maybe your character has a punch parry attack or something like that too. Try it. Okay, well, what about power crush? I can armor through the last hit. So if they're going to just try to bully you with that one variation of that string, you have not only sidestep as an option, but then you did your other checks. You found that you guys, you can leverage your power crush if that works. You can leverage, you have a sabaki or some kind of counter, you can use that. You have options. Remember your scientific method for how to deal with these, right? You just go through the list. Okay, can I block punish it? No. Is there a place where I can duck? No. Okay, can I sidestep some point in this string? You just go through your list, and that's slowly how, looking at attacks that are hitting you and string sequences that are really giving you a lot of trouble, hop in the training mode against them and you problem solve it that way. Just take them one step at a time, go play some matches, and if something's giving you trouble, just hop in training mode and figure it out. You have your scientific method now, your TEKKEN, IFIC, whatever you want to call it. Just kind of apply that. Use what the game gives you to start with. This is something anybody can do. It's not hard, and the game will give you some answers.